I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Whoa, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Whoa, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Clajo, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond, as we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom.
Hey, we're out here at Water Valley, which is it's actually a development lake. This lake belongs to the residents of Water Valley. How's Jeff? This is going to get you on one of these lakes. But seriously, folks, there's lots of small lakes in the urban areas along the Front Range, lots of park lakes that are great fishing. And also we're seeing a trend where people are moving to houses that have a body of water built around the area that's for their recreation. We'll tell you more about that when we get out there. We're going to be fishing today with Jeff Colwell. You've heard him on the radio show many times. He calls in. Jeff, I want to thank you for setting this up. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
No problem. Martin was gracious enough to let us come out here today. It ought to be a good time.
It really will be. And Troy Colburn and Amanda are going to run the camera boat for us. I got a sneaking suspicion that they're going to try to get in more fishing, so we're going to have to watch them, because when he runs camera boat, I got a feeling they're going to try to get in some fishing, so we're going to have to watch them. But guys, I'm excited about getting out here. Troy, thanks for coming and helping us out today.
It was a pleasure.
Let's get out there. Water Valley, we'll tell you about it when we're on the water. Let's go catch some fish.
All right, let's do it.
Got one?
Yeah.
All right, way to start the day. Hey, we're getting an early jump on spring fishing. It's still March, and we're out here crappie fishing. And it shows you they're probably staging for the pre-spawn. Oh, what a beautiful crappie. What a beautiful crappie.
There's a slab.
Look at that. All right. Little Berkeley power tube. I've started out with a little Berkeley grub. I'll tell you what we're doing, folks. We're just up here. We're at Water Valley. And we're going to tell you more about Water Valley later, but I'm throwing a little grub. I may have to switch to a tube. You've had a couple bites, landed a nice one on a tube. You're fishing under a bobber. I'm trying to let it suspend and swim it in, but get an early start on spring fishing. It's March. We had some great weather. The water warmed up. The crappies have moved in. We're going to show you a little bit about this, and we're also going to show you a little bit about why some of these developments with these lakes in them are really neat. Let's catch some more fish. That's a beautiful crappie.
Let's get her back in.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to put a bobber on here pretty quick, too. It could be this cold water, they just don't want to chase it.
Yeah. Sometimes that bobber just kind of suspends the jig there and puts it right in her face, you know,
rather than moving grab it, because they
rather than moving it away.
Yeah, they don't want to chase it. I may have to do that. I'll let this one sink all the way once to see what happens.
Kind of funny too, because it seems like I'm getting my hits when I'm not really moving my jig much either.
Yeah, I think they don't want to chase it at all. Just the action of the waves is probably all it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I might have to dig a bobber out of here. You know, something still magical about fishing under a bobber, you know that?
I know.
I'm going to put
It's
one on.
just fun to watch the bobber go bloop.
Well, how many kids grew up? How many kids grew up? There you go, another one. I'm going to have to switch to a bobber.
Yeah, Troy, they pretty much want it sitting still, it seems like.
They, how many kids, you know, you can't talk to him when I'm talking to you on camera.
Sorry.
I'm trying to say something to the camera and he's talking to Troy.
Look at the size of this thing.
Oh, wow. He's talking to the camera boat. Typical bass tournament guys. We've got Troy Colburn running the camera boat for us today, and Jeff, and these bass guys. You don't know what I went through to convince these guys we're going crappie fishing. Now, we'll probably do some bass fishing.
When I catch crappie like that, though, I can handle it.
You know what?
It's almost like catching a bass.
That's bigger than most of the bass you catch.
Oh, no. Look at the size of this.
Those
what
are
a beautiful
crappies. Well, you've convinced me. I'm going to go under a bobber. We've tried a little different presentations, the two of us. You were under a bobber, I wasn't. The water's still pretty cold. You know, steer us there, Jeff. I think what's happening right now is that maybe later on in the day when the water warms up, we'll be able to, they'll chase. Right now I'm trying to swim a jig, Jeff's fishing under a bobber, and the water's cold enough, these fish aren't real active. I think they want that jig just sitting there. So I'm gonna go under a bobber and see if that's the difference. If not, I'll try a few different presentations. That's one of the fun things about crappie, the action stays hot and you can try different things.
Boy, I'm telling you. See the way that fish took it, it just sort of came up and picked it up. Well, this is the smallest crappie we caught yet. Still a nice crappie. Fat. Very fat. Look how fat, thick this fish is.
Oh, well, they're nice and healthy.
Across the back.
That's one of the things
very
about
healthy.
these lakes like this. They're usually very fertile.
There's a lot of shad in here. There's a lot of food for the fish in here. Martin and his crew have done a great job on establishing these lakes. Boy, I mean, just throw in there and hook a fish.
I better get on the action here.
Yeah, you gotta get on it. You're going with a pink one, huh?
Oh, it's pink and white. I didn't have a white one, so we'll see what happens. Am I in far enough? Is that about where you were?
Yeah, I'm just kind of throwing towards the middle of the hole there.
Yeah.
Boy, those are nice crappies.
I crossed where you can't cast, so I'm gonna reel it in so you can get a cast out.
Throw just right towards the center of the tube there, kind of right in there.
Yeah. I didn't get anything till I switched over to the bobber either.
There's another one.
There we go. One right after another.
Man, I love the crappie fish. When they're biting, I love the crappie fish.
It's awesome. You know what? It's just constant action. These are nice crappies on a light rod.
Beautiful. Real thick, full of eggs. They're about probably 15 degrees off being in the spawn, I would suppose.
Yeah, they're probably not even really. There we go.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah, they're probably not even really staged for the spawn yet. They're probably just doing some feeding because the water's warming up. Probably some bug activity going on.
Right.
Oh, these are nice. These are such nice crappies. This one isn't quite as big as some of the others though. I'm gonna pop them right up here.
Still a nice crappie. Anybody's.
That's a nice, nice crappie. I tell you what, crappies are just a fun fish. And I'll tell you what, folks, I was, get that back in the water, and show you the difference presentation can make sometimes. I was trying to swim mine, and he was fishing under a bobber. Well, I got one bite, and he caught several fish. So what I did was, I put a bobber on with my little jig, my grub, because they're not chasing at all. The water's less than 50 degrees. We're early spring, beautiful day to be out fishing. And I wanted to, any action at all, they won't take it. It's got to sit and just tease them right in front of them. And I put that grub under a bobber and I was able to sit it there, but even the tail on that grub was too much action for him. And so let me show you the difference. I got a curly tail grub here. If you see, this is a little bigger size than I was using, but just the tail on this grub, how much action you get in the water. They wouldn't hit it. Switched over to a little tube. Tube has little tentacles on it. Doesn't have nearly the action, a lot more subtle. It's sitting out there, and he's barely moving and just sitting in front of them. And these, in this cold water, their metabolism is just starting to go. They're just coming up and sucking it in and then slowly swimming away with it. Any action or any movement, they're not hitting it. Now later in the day that may change, but right now that's the key. So it just shows you got to experiment. I stayed with the grub a little longer than I would have, except I wanted just to make sure that was the difference and it wasn't just the luck of the bite. And that really is what made the difference. Amanda's got one there.
Yeah.
Troy's daughter, Troy, who's running camera boat for us today, doing a little fishing while the camera's in this boat. And his daughter got a nice crappie. Oh, you know what? You see a kid out here catching crappies. That's what crappie fishing under a bobber is all about. That's pretty awesome. You know, how many of us grew up fishing with a little red and white bobber and just looking and learned to fish that way? it just shows you get into this kind of a bite, anybody can do it. And it's just a lot of fun.
It's a great way to get kids started in fishing.
Oh, it is. And they'll catch fish, have fun. And then when you want to go to other species and stuff, they'll develop more patience because it won't have been boring when they were younger.
Right.
It's pretty awesome.
That's the key, is keeping the action hot enough to keep the kids interested.
It really is. And I'll tell you what, keeps me, the kid in me keeps interested in big crappies like we're catching here. All right, a double. See whose is bigger. Ooh, these are nice crappies. If he's there, swing him up, we're gonna lose him. I want it, mine's bigger if it falls off. Let's see, okay, let's get him over here.
Oh, mine's a lot bigger.
They're just all so nice.
Like peas in a pod.
Well, you know what I was saying earlier? You got the golf course here, which keeps this place fertile. So development, and that's these ponds like that. You know, not only home lakes and home development areas like Water Valley is here, but a lot of these private lakes, the division stocks are very fertile also. They're shallow, fertile, they have good plant growth in them, and they're near development, so they get some of the ground fertilization washes in, and it can really be some tremendous fishing. Folks, even if you don't live by a development like this, if there's a pond, a park in your area, there's a good chance it has some fish like this. Bass, crappies, bluegills, some of them even stock with trout. Some of the best fishing, especially early in the year like this, because they warm up so much quicker. We're here in March. I mean, fishing season really hasn't even kicked off. We were just ice fishing a few weeks ago. We're ready to open water fish. So, and my bobber's underwater. Well, why didn't you tell me my bobber was underwater? I'm sitting here talking to him and my bobber's underwater. Jeez. I'll tell you what, I switched over to, I'll show you what I switched over to because I wanted to give it a try. The bite had slowed down a little bit. Not much though, but it had slowed down. Oh,
wow,
these are
what
nice.
a crappie.
These are so nice. Do I dare just flip him in? I suppose. If he comes off, he comes off. We're letting him go anyway. Oh, look at that. Oh my Lord. I've kept bass in tournaments that were smaller than that. That's just awesome. That is just awesome. Folks, that's a crappie. Let me tell you, anywhere you fish, that's a crappie. Ooh, it feels like pretty good fish. You know, we switched over to bass fishing. Not that we weren't having fun crappie fishing, but when you're in a lake that has bass like this, you got to go for them. And I decided to throw it on my spinning tackle. This is a pretty good fish for 8-pound test on a spinning tackle. Oh, nice, nice, healthy bass. You know, it's not a monster, just a nice chunk.
Good, solid fish.
Good, good, solid fish. Yeah, here we go. I tell you what, you can tell this is a fertile lake, Jeff. Look at the shoulders on that fish. I mean, that fish is as thick as it is wide. It's built like me. It's short and really wide. I tell you, and it just shows you, you know, these lakes like this that are near developments, whether they're public or private, especially by a golf course where there's lots of lawn, they get fertile from everything that washes in. There's tremendous algae growth and plankton. And that makes the bait fish or shad, whatever they grow, and you just get some awfully, awfully good fishing in some of these lakes, folks. The best bass fishing and the best pan fishing in Colorado are the small lakes and ponds.
Oh, man.
Missed one?
Ah! It's a little early in the year. I'm a little slow on the reaction.
Yeah, I think I just had one pick it up and I didn't even set the hook. You're right, we know it's March. Here's the beauty of Colorado. We started out with jackets on. It's a little cool in the morning. But right now it's probably going to be 60, 70 degrees today. The water temperature is close to 50. We're on this small lake and it is just gorgeous out. The sun is shining, the wind's up. I mean, Chamber of Commerce weather for Colorado. People who live in Colorado, I don't think sometimes appreciate what they have. I mean, 300 days a year of sunshine and a chance to experience stuff like this. And you know, another thing we don't have in Colorado? Fishing seasons.
Yeah.
You can go, you know, a lot of these small ponds and metro areas and lakes open up almost year-round.
Man, I'll tell you what.
You're just not quite on the trigger today yet, are you?
No, I'm not.
You'll get there, though.
I'm about 10 seconds too late.
Well, not 10 seconds.
Well, now you pitch in on my fish.
Hey, I didn't make a living doing this by being dumb.
That's right.
See, typical tournament guy, you pitched in on my fish. I didn't see you. You missed it, pal. You had your shot. You know, sometimes the camaraderie of what we're doing, I miss the tournaments for that. I fished tournaments for years and years, bass, walleye, and even some muskie and crappie tournaments. Between me and my partner, Greg Colwell in Minnesota, we've got somewhere over 100 top 10 finishes. But I thought I'd miss the tournaments more than I do. But I miss it once in a while when I start talking to you guys. But I enjoy what I do because I get to travel. But you know, for people who've never done tournament and club fishing, Jeff, it's really what a great way to get good and to accelerate your knowledge and make friends and get into fishing, isn't it?
It is. It's a great way to learn new techniques that maybe you would never even try.
When I talk to people about that all the time, that you need to, if you want to accelerate your fishing knowledge and get better so you can enjoy it better, whatever species you like, whether it's the bass clubs, the walleye clubs, muskie club, trout unlimited, join the clubs for the species you like to fish for, and you'll meet people that enjoy the same type of fishing and also that can teach you a lot and just accelerate that learning curve.
You missed one, Terry?
No, I was just testing my hook set. Yeah. Okay, here you go, spinnerbait.
Yep.
We're just gonna go cast on the other side of you. Another nice chunky bass. Boy, they're just so healthy.
Yeah.
It's just hard to have a good time in here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Hard to really enjoy life. You know, Jeff, we've been talking most of today about small ponds and small lakes. You know, we're out here at Water Valley, and this is a private development lake, and we talked about all the small ponds around, but we're mostly crappie fishing today. And Colorado, I think, probably has a lot more crappie fishing than a lot of people realize. Right in your backyard, Boyd Reservoir. Mm-hmm. So where's some of the other places you fish crappie?
Oh, southwest of Loveland there over at Lone Tree is good.
Lone Tree's got a good crappie population? I didn't even know that.
It does. It's got a fantastic crappie population.
You know, Cherry Creek has good crappies. They're catching them out by the tower right now, and I've caught them off the shore out there. The southeastern lakes like John Martin and some of those lakes out there in Queens, when there's the water levels right. John Martin this year, in fact, the last few years have been excellent crappie fishing. And you know, to go crappie fishing, you don't need a lot of expensive equipment.
No,
you just need a medium or light spinning rod, some hooks and a bobber, really.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And we haven't used live bait all day today. We've used artificials. And we fished under a bobber, we fished with spinners. Another thing you could do for crappies if you don't feel confident is a little minnow under a bobber is excellent for crappies.
Right.
But you know, you don't need a lot of gear, just a little jig and a bobber, and crappies usually pretty cooperative, and it's a lot of fun. And when you get into them like we have today, and I've seen this happen at Cherry Creek and John Martin, and if I just threw over you, so if I get a fish, I'll have to get you to reel in. But it's just fun. What a relaxing, great way to enjoy a day out. And take kids. We've had Troy and Amanda with us. Troy's been running our camera boat, but sometimes he's been fishing with Amanda, and she's caught some big crappies. And well, Jeff, you know, it was really nice of your friend. Well, who's the owner of Water Valley again?
Martin Lynn.
Martin Lynn. And we want to give Martin Lynn just a ton of credit today for allowing us to come out here on Water Valley. We really wanted to show you the kind of fishing that can exist in these small lakes. And Boyd Reservoir can be very, very good for crappies.
The crappies actually have picked up pretty good at Boyd here in the last few days too, and they've been catching quite a few over there. Here in just this last week with this warmer weather, they've kind of triggered them and they've gotten going a little bit.
Hey Jeff, I want to thank you for setting us up. You know, we got to get going, folks. We just had a great day out here. Troy, thanks for running the camera boat. And Amanda, thank you for being a star and catching so many fish. I tell you what, it was just a great day out here in the water. What a beautiful day. March in Colorado, and look at the day we're having.
It's gorgeous.
Good times. Can you believe the size of the crappies? I'll tell you, it was just awesome. We want to say thanks again to the fellas at Water Valley. What's the owner's name?
Martin Lynn.
What was it?
Martin Lynn.
Martin Lynn. I want to say thanks to Martin Lynn for allowing us to use the Water Valley facility. You know, folks, lots of fishing opportunities in Colorado exist just like this. There's these development areas with their private lakes. There's lots of small ponds. There's lots of public lakes. There's lots of park lakes. And you need to get out and try them. And if you're really into the outdoors and you're looking to buy a home, think about a facility like this where you've got your own private access to water, a golf course. You saw what tremendous fun it can be in a lot of fishing, you know. But most important, go crappie fishing, tune in to Mountain States Fishing, and we'll see you next week. If you were going to a new lake that you didn't know, springtime, what do you look for when you go crappie fishing? What kind of area?
A lot. There's one.
No, there isn't.
But a pea gravel type of a bank, or even a sand at times type of a bank, is always good.